together in what we do. We are a founding member of the Football League. We are 1884. We are positive, inspired and passionate. We are now. We are moving together. We are ambitious and driven. We are progress. We are change. We are prepared, honest and humble. We are the highs. We are the lows. We are the heartbeat of our community. We are the famous black and white. We are the dreams come true. We are the club of opportunity. We are the memories. We are the yet to come. We are Derby.
Hello and welcome to the preview show from RamsTV. Derby County are off to the Valley today. A win for the Rams at Charlton Athletic would see Derby become the first side in League One this season to win 10 games away from home. Build up to that to come. First, Thursday saw the January transfer window close. Here's a little recap of Derby's major deals. And the biggest came midway through the window with winger Corey Blackett-Taylor arriving from Charlton. He's on loan for now, but the deal will become permanent in the summer. Blackett-Taylor had 8 goals and 6 assists in 25 games in the first half of the season with Charlton. Ebou Adams became the second arrival of the window on Wednesday, signing on loan from Cardiff until the end of the season. He's just back from the Africa Cup of Nations with Gambia, could make his debut today. Young striker DeJean Brown has headed out on loan. He's gone to Gateshead in the National League for the rest of the campaign. But there was one significant deal on deadline day. Academy graduate Max Bird joining Bristol City for an undisclosed fee, but rejoining till the end of the season. And there was more to come for Derby just yesterday, with Erin Cashin signing a new long-term contract with the club as well. Some great news for Derby there. Here to give us his assessment of the window is Derby boss Paul Warne.
Yeah, I am really satisfied, to be honest. We went into the window wanting to keep our best players. I think I alluded to the fact I wanted to strengthen the front line and keep the best players at the club. And what we 4 points off top, so it's not like we're in a relegation fight. So I thought if we could keep the group together, that would be, firstly imperative. We've been trying for weeks and months to convince Cash and Birdie to stay. Obviously, and it became apparent speaking to Birdie, Max's ledge, but speaking to him on numerous occasions with his representatives, that this was going to be his last season. It wasn't a financial thing, anything like that. He just wanted a different challenge, and I get that. You don't want to. There's not many players who spend the whole career at one club, so that became really apparent, and in consequence to that, we ended up selling him to Bristol City for the money we wanted. We might not have got that in the summer, and plus we loaned him back, so we haven't lost. So that's a win-win, and he's been so professional throughout this season, even though he possibly knew his future was somewhere else. So that was one thing that I was really pleased on, that we managed to tick all them boxes. There's no point letting his contract run out and get nothing, or lose him to Scotland or something like that. So we have to try and make good decisions all the time, and then obviously to convince Cash to stay is credit to everyone at the football club, so that's good. So that's great news as well. So that was important. We wanted to strengthen the front line. We were always after Corey. I was after him in the summer, and then he done his best to score loads of goals and that for Charlton, which helped my cause no end, and other clubs obviously around him. So to get Corey in the building was a massive coup, and for us. And it took a lot of work as well, so we got him in early, which was good. And as I've been saying as well, I wanted some meat in the middle of the pitch. Meat's not really a fair word, is it? But a bit of aggression, really, and a bit of pace, because I've said it on some games, we look a little bit too open. And Ebou was a player I tried to sign before. I'd watched him numerous occasions and watched him this year, and spoke to Cardiff and the player and that before we went to African nations. So that was always something I had lined up. So that was good. So we had most of our ducks in a row for that, really. And then it was just about trying to strengthen that front line. Look, I didn't want to go into the next... I mean, we've got virtually, when I tell you my squad for tomorrow is really good, but we've got virtually all our players back. We're probably 3 weeks away from Wash or Waggy or both. Excuse me. And I didn't really want to go into these next 3 games or potentially the rest of the season without something else up top. So that was the only disappointment, but our actual planning for it and how it worked out, and like obviously we can't say everything that goes on, but as you can see, like all the transfers this transfer window, I would say 95% were done in the last 2 days, because clubs, we spoke to 2 Premier League clubs about their young strikers, of which both chose us as their first choice, of which both clubs were saying, yeah, we can do this, like financially it wasn't an issue, or the player, it was more about the fact if they could get one in themselves. They didn't get one in, so they couldn't release. And then I had a championship striker that I really liked, who I fell in love's a bit extreme, but I felt would have definitely improved us in many capacities. The lad wanted to come, the owner wanted him to come, the head of recruitment wanted to come, the head of football wanted to come, and everything was in place. And then in the 10th hour, the manager pulled it, decided that he wanted to keep him at the club. And unfortunately, that is always the problem with this window. And when you deal with loans, you always, once the fee's agreed, you're in, aren't you? But when it's a loan, it is more complicated, and I have no issue with the manager pulling it, because if I felt it was right to pull Birdie's in the last hour or someone else's, I would have. So all in all, I thought the window went well, but you always leave a window thinking, always, every club will. I just wish we could have got a striker, but the ones we went for were the right ones for us. And I know, 2 years ago, give or take a day, it was when, people were marching because this club was going down. We're not going to make decisions with a gun to our head about, you have to do this, you have to do that. We have to make good fiscal decisions and good decisions for the club. And we did everything we could to improve the squad, and I'm really happy with the squad. Like, I'll bounce into that meeting in 20 minutes, buzzing that all the lads all my children have stayed, and we've added 2 bits of quality. So I'm really happy on that.
That's Derby boss Paul Warne on the window. Let's swing things back to today and take a look at the League One table ahead of Derby's trip to Charlton. Leaders Portsmouth were held to a 2-2 draw by Oxford in the week, so their lead at the top is just 3 points. Bolton with 3 games in hand in second. Peterborough and Derby a point further back, the Rams having played that extra game as well. For a while, Charlton thought they might be playoff contenders, but they're down in 18th, just 4 points clear of the relegation zone. More on them in a moment. Reading could get out of danger with a win today. Things looking very tough for Fleetwood and for Carlisle at this stage. Yeah, more on Charlton in a second. First, let's hear from the Derby squad ahead of today's trip to the Valley. Louie Sibley was back in the side for the victory over Cheltenham last weekend, that unfamiliar position of left-back.
Yeah, it's obviously good to be back out there. Obviously, like you said, obviously played there quite a bit last season, so it was something obviously I knew. There's been quite a few injuries, obviously Fozzie and Cal, so there's an opportunity at left back. So yeah, obviously always happy to play there. I've said after the game, obviously you get a lot of the ball, and for me that's what I kind of obviously want, so I can get up and down. So yeah, it's obviously good to be back with the lads, and hopefully can carry on a good run now. Yeah,
you said it there. Do you think there are parts of the position that actually really suit your game?
Yeah. Obviously, speaking to the gaffer and the staff, the way we get on the ball is obviously the fullbacks get a lot of the ball. So for me, that's obviously good. And yeah, obviously as a fullback nowadays, you're obviously up and down. So I'm probably more of attacking mindset, but also they've got onto me about defending as well, because it's obviously very important.
I mean, you'll know, I'm sure, Craig Forsyth started his career as a left winger and signed for Derby as a left midfielder and sort of gradually moved further and further back. Do you think you might go the same way?
Well, who knows? But obviously, like I said, if there's an opportunity to play whatever position, I'll always give it my all. I think everybody knows my probably preferred position in the midfield, but when I get the opportunity there, I'm still getting on the ball. I'm still hopefully creating chances. So it's one of them. If I can help the team, then I'll always do my best, whatever position really.
Did the staff, did the manager, did they give you any sort of advance warning, or did you find out you're in at left back when the team goes up on the screen?
A bit of advance warning, to fair. Obviously, probably a couple of days on Thursday, we're obviously doing a bit of training, and I'm getting used to that position again. But like I said, it's something I enjoy. Obviously, last season I played, I think I spoke to you before, at the first it was very strange. I did play there a little bit when I was younger, but obviously it got a bit of time to get used to, but after that I got used to it, and yeah, it feels natural now.
Did you say you played there for England once?
Yeah, I played there when I was younger, played there through the academy and obviously at England as well, so I was used to it, but yeah, it's one of them, it's a good position to play.
And look, at this stage, the team is right in the mix for promotion. How are you and how are the guys feeling in the room right now? Yeah,
no, excited. We know probably the last couple of games we haven't, performance-wise, been good enough, but like we said, at the end of the season, you probably don't look at that, you look at the wins. So obviously against Charlton, overall the game wasn't amazing, but we got the 3 points, we got it done, and teams are going to come to obviously Pride Park and sit back and defend and make it awkward. So at the end of the day, we've got to keep winning, and hopefully, obviously Saturday against Charlton, we can carry it on.
Yeah, and going into this weekend, we know the pace at the top has been absolutely relentless. How much do you feel that pressure of having to win every week?
Yeah, exactly. Especially at home, I think obviously loads of teams sit in, make it horrible, second balls, and it is difficult. We know wherever we play, even away games, obviously the fans are up, so we know wherever we go in League One, it's always going to be difficult, but we've just got to keep that performance right, and like I said, as long as we keep winning and keep going in the right direction, that's the main thing.
Louie Sibley there, ahead of today's trip to Charlton, who had a really busy transfer window, including sacking a manager last month. Michael Appleton was dismissed 2 weeks ago after a 10-game winless run. He'd only replaced Dean Holden in September. That hasn't stopped Charlton signing 9 players in the window, including the likes of Connor Coventry on a permanent deal from West Ham and Freddie Ladapo on loan from Ipswich. They did, of course, lose Corey Blackett-Taylor, one of their star performers so far, who has joined Derby. So the squad's now set for the run-in. Some teams busier than others in the January transfer window. We've been taking a look at the promotion contenders with League One expert Joe Townsend from Sporting Life, starting with his thoughts on leaders Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think they've had a really good window, to be honest, because it was threatening to start to fall apart a bit for them. I think the last time we spoke, it did seem like they were going to run away with the league. And yeah, I think like Owen Moxon coming in from Carlisle, the Carlisle policy this window, I don't know whether they've kind of consigned themselves to being relegated, that they're letting several of the best players go, because I didn't think that they would let anybody sign him, but they've signed all the way through the pitch, Portsmouth, signing McIntyre in defence, Moxon in midfield, Lang up front, and then Pearl Harris from Brentford. That could they have had a better window, really, to strengthen the entire spine of your team? So that really shone a light on it for me when I was just digesting it this morning, thinking, oh, well, not that many clubs have done great business. They've probably come out of it exactly how they would want to. So if they get a boost in the second half of the season now, maybe they will be pretty tricky to stop.
That's Portsmouth. As far as Bolton are concerned, is bringing in Aaron Collins from Bristol Rovers, is that the biggest single sort of statement signing in League One in this window?
I would say so, yeah. I saw him play for Bristol Rovers against Barnes only a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking then, like as a Barnsley supporter myself, I would just love for us to go and sign him next month. You lose track of time over Christmas, don't you? I can't remember whether it was the start of January or the end of December, and I did wonder who is going to go and get him. Just a proper leader in your team, as well as being a superb player. But I'd say beyond that for Bolton, that last season they were so good because of the loan recruits that they had, and you see how Conor Bradley's just tearing it up for Liverpool, and they've literally just thought we'll do exactly the same thing. We'll get another young right back in on loan, and brought in Calvin Ramsey, and then they've signed another couple of loan players that, I'll be completely honest, I don't know loads about, but they've did such good loan recruitment last year. You kind of have to back them that they've gone and signed another good group of young loan players. That why won't they have the same impact that their loan recruits had last season? So if I was a Bolton supporter, then I'd probably be pretty happy knowing Calvin Ramsey, such a good reputation coming down from Scotland when Liverpool signed him. Aaron Collins, we know everything that he's about, such a good EFL player. And then 2 loan players that could end up being the backbone of their team for the rest of the season.
What about Peterborough? Not the busiest, certainly, and a bit of a twist at the end of the window with Ephraim Mason-Clark, albeit he's going to stay until the end of the season.
Yeah, well, not dissimilar to yourselves. When you've got people trying to sign your best player, or like one of your best players, then being able to sell them and then get them loaned straight back, that's a seriously good piece of business. I won't shift the conversation too much onto Barnsley. They did the exact opposite, loaning Callum Styles to Sunderland and not receiving a fee for him, which it takes some believing, to be quite honest. But getting Mason Clark back from Coventry for the rest of the season. Then I mean, Darren McAntony is very open with the media, isn't he, and outspoken about how he wants to do his business, and he was adamant that they weren't going to sell him unless they got him back for the rest of the campaign, and that could be critical for them in the promotion when they're on such a good run. I think he's unbeaten in 12 matches now. And it just moved me straight on to talking about Derby, really. Keeping Max Bird for the rest of the season, that just could be huge. And it's a credit to the club to be able to do that, to be honest. It's probably helped that Bristol City haven't quite had that pickup in the last kind of 4 to 6 weeks that looked like they might have, that they're not going to make the playoffs in the Championship now. If they were another 5 points up the division, then they probably wouldn't have loaned him back. So the way that that's worked out has been huge for Derby, and a blow, I would say, to the other teams in the promotion pack for the rest of the season.
Joe Townsend from Sporting Life there with his thoughts on some of Derby's transfer window business. There was one final face to come into the building this week for the Rams. Ebou Adams signing on loan from Cardiff until the end of the season. I think it's fair to say delighted to be a Ram.
I feel so happy. I feel I can't stop smiling, actually. I'm happy and excited to get going.
That's good to hear. When did you first hear that this move might be in the works for you?
Oh, a good couple of months now. I was aware of it strongly before I travelled to AFCON. And then as I come back, I think it was a good opportunity to play for a club in the position that they are now. Don't think they should be in that position, and hopefully I can be part of it to push them to where they belong.
You mentioned AFCON, so we'll talk about it. You've not long got back. What was the experience like? Mixed, I'm guessing.
It was very mixed, yeah. But the atmosphere, organisation, it was amazing. The vibe, it was unbelievable. The food, I must suggest, was really good. But no, I enjoyed it. Obviously, played the first game, played against Senegal. Sadly, didn't end how I wanted it to end, but it's part and parcel of football. I learned, and I'm looking forward to just playing football and playing with a smile on my face.
Looking at your career so far, the 2021-22 season jumps out. Promotion with Forest Green, named in the League 2 Team of the Year. How special was that season for you?
It was incredible. Because to get promoted and to be named the Team of the Season, it shows how hard you worked, not just as a person and as a team. And you probably name one person in there, Kane Wilson, which was that team was a great team, and to get promoted and to be named Team of the Season tops it up.
And that was going to be my next question. Kane Wilson, a teammate in both regards for that campaign. Reunited now. Have you seen him yet? Have you spoken to him much?
I spoke to 2 people, Curtis Nelson and Kane Wilson. They're top of my call list at the minute. But no, them 2 have been really good. They told me about the club and how amazing it is and how I'll be suited to fit in, and the boys will be welcome, and it'll probably suit me down to a T. So for them, I think you can use them too as the agent. But no, it's really good to hear that good things about the club.
And what about the manager? What's Paul Warne said to you?
He's pretty excited to have me here, and do you know what? I'm just wanting to repay my faith for him bringing me here, and I think it's an opportunity for me to make a mark. Obviously, I've had a tough year, which is, I don't know, it's unheard of in football, the injuries I've had, but I want to show my every faith in him bringing me here to show the fans and what I can do.
And what can you do? What will you bring to this Derby team?
I will bring energy. I just can't stop smiling because I'm excited to be here. But yeah, I love to be around. I've got so much energy. I love to get in the box to try to score some goals, and I love just winning tackles. I just love being everywhere around the pitch, and hopefully the fans will see that, and I can display that as towards the end of the season. Hopefully it'll be profitable.
I'm sure they'll say, Ebou, welcome to Derby.
Thank you very much.
Ebou Adams there. There's an early kick-off in League One today. Oxford against Reading getting underway shortly. Everyone else plays at 3. Bolton against Barnsley is of interest to anyone in the promotion race. Leaders Portsmouth hosting Northampton. Peterborough welcome Wigan. And for Derby County, it's a trip to Charlton Athletic, which overseas viewers can watch on RamsTV. Get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. Matchday Live will be with you from 2:30. And for everyone, we'll have reaction here after the game as well in the Derby debrief. Do join us for that. Goodbye.